Crazy Dave's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making Dave's famous apple pie. Why is it famous? I don't really know. It's not really famous. However, it is one of my favorites. To make this recipe, we're going to be using 5 Granny Smith apples. Granny Smith apples are known to have the least amount of moisture content and a nice zippy flavor within an apple pie. So with these 5 apples, we're going to core and peel them with this handy dandy corer peeler. Works very nice. You can also peel them by hand and use an apple slicer. If you can get a hold of one of these, they are a fantastic way of doing this rather quickly. As you can see, it's already cored and peeled, and we really just chop them up afterwards. It's a little trickier getting that out, but it's really not a lot of mess. If you were to go with a different type of an apple, not a Granny Smith, you may find quite a bit of moisture on your countertop from the apple itself. But this makes a quick and easy job of peeling and coring. It's really sort of foolproof for the most part. One more. It's just that easy. You've seen it here first. And there we have it. All the waste, everything right there. Simple. Move that into place. Now we're going to just, all we really have to do, have a bowl right here. We're just going to cut the apples in half, and there they are. They're already sliced. They're all uniform sizes. Very nice and easy. Again, you can peel them by hand, and also cut them with like your knife and so forth, but I believe that's going to take a lot of time. Okay, so here we are at the stove, and I am melting 3/4 of a stick of butter, and to that we are going to add the apples and give them a nice coating. They should sizzle, by the way, when we put them in here, and that is happening, so it's a win-win. By pre-cooking the apples prior to putting them into the pie, we'll get rid of that air bubble. Sometimes people like to throw the apples into the lower bottom pie crust and then add the spices, and it's going to lead to an uneven apple pie flavor overall. By doing this, we're going to reduce the size of the apples, but they're going to be coated with the spices and everything evenly, and have a really nice sauce, glaze, sugar, spice sauce to go with it. Once we get them all evenly coated with the butter, we are going to add 1 tablespoon freshly squeezed lemon juice to prevent the browning that's already occurring. So there's that. That's the power of the video. That's why that is. Things take a little bit extra to get to where they need to go. Nobody's going to notice that, though. You'll see once the apples cook down. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. To this, we're going to also add 1/8 teaspoon salt to help these apples sweat out some of their moisture. Even though I did just get done saying how they're the low moisture apples, but if you were to, every time, win-win. If you were to slice up another brand of apple, Granny Smith, other than Granny Smith, you will find that your counter will be soaking wet when you get done peeling and coring them. We're also going to add a 1/2 cup of sugar. We're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of apple pie spice. Wouldn't be apple pie without apple pie spice. And from a recent trip to Galena, Galena, Illinois, by the way, I happened to go to the Blom Brothers Distillery and tried some of their whiskeys and their rye whiskey. I happen to have the rye whiskey right here. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of the rye whiskey to our apple mixture, just to enhance the flavor of the pie. That, of course, is going to cook off. But leave that nice whiskey flavor within the apples. I think it'll taste marvelous. So we're going to cook this down for 8 to 10 minutes, making sure that everything's nice and coated evenly and has a little bit of that sauce. That sauce is going to reduce down very nice. So just let it simmer, chill out for a while, and we'll be right back. Okay, the apples and the spices have been simmering for a little while now, about 6 to 8 minutes. The sauce, as you can see, is kind of thickening a little bit. So it's time we're going to transfer this over onto a rimmed cookie sheet so that it will be able to cool while we prepare our pie dough. We've already pre-made pie dough that's in the refrigerator, and we're going to roll it out and set our apples into the pie. We'll see you over at the other station. And that should be a good base for our pie pan. Much better than the last time. Maybe, except for maybe just a little bit there, but that's alright. We'll make do. This is a much nicer looking area here. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But as you'll see, in the end it all kind of breaks out even. So there we go. That's a good base. Pay no attention to the dinging sound, it's not the timer. Now we're going to take our cooled apples and put them into the base of the pie here. All that juicy richness. Just like that. Get that sauce to move around a little bit. Spread the apples out. Very nice. Delicious. Give that a little shake, let those juices kind of flow around there. That'll be great. Now we will work on the other half of the dough. Here. There we go. Got a nice, even layer of the top here. Perfect. We're going to again cut the overhang. Like so. How it should look. right there. Now this overhang here, it's nice and thick. That's the way we want it. We're going to tuck that under. Excellent. We're going to take our fork. We're going to just seal that edge all the way around. A little design. I mean, if you've got time to come up with a design with your thumb and index finger, you can practice that. I kind of just do this to seal that edge a little bit for when it bakes. Sometimes it comes undone anyway. So there's our pie. Now we're just going to paint on some milk. You can use heavy cream as well. I just have 2% milk lying around in the fridge, so brush it all over the top, get the edge, just like so. And then also I have some, here we go. I have some pure cane sugar, some raw sugar. Just take a nice decent handful of that, sprinkle it on the top. Always add a little extra crunch to the pie. And then we're just going to cut in some vent holes. Just so the steam has somewhere to go. And then we're going to throw it in an oven at 450 degrees for 40 minutes. And then we'll have delicious apple pie. Looks something like this. And you can see the crust is flaky and most likely very delicious. This one still has about another 2 hours to cool down, but once it does, we'll be in pie heaven. Thank you.